Hello, my name is Tom Lemerond, and today I'm going to be covering Forms Pro and how we can integrate Forms Pro with D365 to provide the surveying capabilities inside of D365. As you know, Voice of the Customer, which you currently use in D365 for surveying, is going away, or the end of life is July of 2020. So this survey service will actually end at that time, so you'll no longer be able to submit surveys or send out surveys. You will be able to keep your historical response information because that's all being stored inside of entities inside of your D365 environment. So that historical information will be able to be stored. But for those of you that are using Voice of the Customer and still want surveying capabilities, that's what we're talking about today is Forms Pro. For those of you that are not using Voice of the Customer but are interested in maybe adding some, surveying capabilities to your D365 environment, that's also Forms Pro. So the nice thing is that it comes with a D365 license. That license does have 2,000 responses per month. So that's what you get with your license out of the box. If you need more responses than that per month, there's packages through Microsoft where you can purchase additional responses. So today, I'm going to just be showing you a high-level overview of Forms Pro. So I won't be going through all the steps on how to create a survey, but we'll be looking at an existing survey and walking through high-level the features and capabilities that are inside of Forms Pro. We will then jump into D365 and just talk through and show you how a survey can be called. We'll be actually using Power Automate. And then we'll show you, again, that the metrics come back into D365 so you can do additional reporting. Plus, we'll show you what some of the reporting and metrics are inside of Forms Pro. So with that being said, let's jump right into the product. So Forms Pro is accessible through Office 365. Like I mentioned, as long as you have D365, you'll have access to Forms Pro. I am going to open up an existing survey that I have created here. So inside of here, a survey is pretty simple to create. So I have my header and just some, information about the survey. This is all editable, so I can go into here and, change how I want. If I want to insert an image, if I want to do some branding on here, we can do all that. And then each area is just editable for a section. So if I want to have section headers, I can go into here and edit what the sections are called. And then I can just go and start adding all my different survey questions. So if you just see here, all these different types of questions that I already have created. And right now I have 3 sections and 6 questions inside of here. But if I want to go and add a new question, notice my different areas. So I have choice, text, rating, dates, rankings, Likert, the Net Promoter Score, NPS, and then I can add additional sections. So it is a pretty robust tool, and it's pretty easy actually to set up these surveys. Like this probably took me, less than 5 minutes. I had to come up with the survey questions more than just setting up the layout. But let's just take a look at what this survey would look like. So just quickly. So now notice I can view how it looks inside of here. Notice how I have my different sections. So every section then has a next coming to it. Of course, this theme is a theme that I chose. You can have your own theme, or this can be, done someplace else. Otherwise, I can see what it looks like in mobile. So I can just see how that experience is for my end users, depending on, if they're doing it through the web or if they're doing it through, mobile. So other than just asking and putting their questions in here, there are some nice features that come inside of Forms Pro. So one of the areas are survey variables. So if you notice right here, it says hi first name. Of course, that first name is a variable I pass into it whenever I'm sending the survey out. So you can have survey variables. It comes with a couple, I believe first name and last name come with it, but you can add a couple more of your own variables if you want to pass more dynamic information into the survey. This branching rules, this is a really cool feature. I like this. So what it allows you to do inside of here is that it allows you to dynamically build your survey based on your responses being done. So let's just say you have, the first 2 questions maybe ask for a certain product or for certain service, or however you have those questions set up. based on how they respond to it, the rest of the questions can either pop up or be displayed or be removed. So it can be a very personalized experience, just so it's not a generic survey that's being sent out for everybody. Based on how they respond, you can personalize what questions you want to ask them, so you're getting the questions that you want answered and not just having, a survey with lots of irrelevant questions. You can also do different languages in here. Again, they have language packs just like you've seen in other Microsoft products, so that capability is available in Forms Pro also. So let's go back now and take a look at what we can do inside of Dynamics. So right now inside Dynamics, this is going to be a very simple example. So what I have right here is I just have my contacts. I'm going to go into here. I'm going to select one of my contacts. I'm going to go to my flows. You guys know that this is for Power Automate, or what used to be called MS Flow. And I'm going to run this survey run this flow called Send Survey. So I'm just going to run that. Yep. Okay. Whoops. I need to go back to my contacts here. I must have had something open up previously. I will say this, send survey. Okay, I'm going to run it. And now that has been done. So then again, behind the scenes, it's running a Power Automate flow to send out this survey. But what I can also do is I can also have it triggered based on different things too. So my example is very simple, but let's go over to Power Automate and just take a look at this. So I'm just saying, hey, I'm looking at my contacts. Whenever I push that survey, grab all the contacts that are getting into here, and then send my survey. And I'm just saying, who am I sending this to? What survey am I selecting? What is the email template? What's it regarding? And then what are the parameters that I'm sending into the survey? So it's pretty simple to do this with Power Automate. Now, again, as you know, anyone that knows Power Automate, this can be a lot more flexible than what I'm doing. You can have this triggered based on events that happen inside of your D365. So if you have a case that you have that comes in and, when it gets resolved, you want to send out a survey, that capability, or if you don't want to over survey somebody, you can do some things to see, where they're at, how many surveys you have sent, maybe only send them a survey once every 30 days. So you can do that kind of stuff through Power Automate inside of here. But inside of my CRM, what I will do is that I'll be getting this email. And now here's the template that I used, an email template that was inside of Forms Pro. And it's very simple. I can just say, start the survey. And, this will just bring up the survey here, and I can just walk through my different information. Pretty simple. This experience is pretty good for the user. And then of course, I can submit it, and now this will go back into Forms Pro, but more importantly, it's actually going to push the data back into D365. So let's take a look at that. It's not going to be instantaneous that it's going to come into D365, but all the information does come back into D365. So with that, let's go into here and take a look at this record. And now the only thing I have changed inside of here is that I did actually add a tab for surveys. And then also, if you notice over here, I did modify this to add the different entities that come into Dynamics. So the entities will be coming in if you import in the solution for Forms Pro that links Forms Pro with D365. And then, once I go into here, I can see I just add the surveys. I can see the surveys the invites that have happened, and then I can see the responses. So if I just open up one of these responses inside of here, notice it gives me some high-level information, what the NPS score was, what the sentiment was, when was the start date of the survey, when did they complete it. That information is stored on here. It actually gives me a look at what the survey looks like, and what the responses were to the questions inside the survey. And then more importantly, I actually have the questions down here. So now I can, I can take all this information and the responses that come back. And now, just like any other type of data inside of D365, I can create views, I can create charts, I can create dashboards. So just a really simple example, I'm going to go and look at my the first question in my survey, and then I can do some simple charting inside of here. Again, this is just basic D365 stuff, but because all that Forms Pro data comes back into Dynamics, we have access to use all the default capabilities inside of here. So pretty simple. Again, creating the survey is pretty simple. Let's go back to Forms Pro, and I'll just show you that there is the capability to see some information inside of Forms Pro. Now this is being embedded here by Power BI. So if you have Power BI, you can embed that into Dynamics, so you can do further information, further analytics. But this is, pretty nice. You can look at my different responses, what my NPS score was, what my overall sentiment is. Otherwise, I can go look at question by question and just kind of see what my results look like per question, right? So now I can kind of see, what my different information looks like, how people responded, who are my detractors compared to who are my promoters, and just kind of take a look at the overall information. So with all that, I hope this video was informative. It was supposed to be quick and fast just to kind of show you the capabilities of the tool and that there is a replacement for voice of the customer called Forms Pro. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to contact us or to go out to our website to see our many different types of resources. I thank you for your time today, and we'll be talking soon.